Warrens discovered that the farmhouse was built on land that had a tragic history of violence and pain, which they believed to have facilitated the presence of negative entities. Now, if this story sounds interesting to you, then do me a favor and hit the like button and comment down below on your thoughts of this story. Also, share this with your family and friends. But seriously, guys, when it comes to the like button, imagine it as yourself and you haven't taken a shower in a week and you smell and your back is just extremely itchy and there's that one spot on your back that you just, no matter what, can't reach. Well, have no fear, because just to let you know, clicking the like button will relieve your itchy endeavors and put you on a Buddhist-like path of calm feelings mixed with endorphins. Also, remember, don't forget to find the clue. It can be any figure from a scary movie or something that has to do with story. So, if you find it, put what it is and the timestamp in the comments to get pinned and to enter the giveaway. Okay. Now, with that being said, it's time to get into today's story and slip into a mind that's not our own. Now, the story of the Perron family began in the early 1970s when they moved into a large old farmhouse in Harrisville, Rhode Island. Now, Roger and Carolyn Perron, along with their 5 daughters, Andrea, Nancy, Christine, Cindy, and April, were excited to start a new chapter in their lives. But as soon as they moved in, strange occurrences began to take place. Now, the Perron family soon realized that they were not alone in the house. I mean, they heard strange noises, they heard footsteps, and unexplained sounds. Now, they also saw these objects moving on their own, doors opening and closing by themselves, and strange smells that could not be explained. And of course, as the days passed, the hauntings became more aggressive, and the girls began to see these apparitions. And Caroline witnessed a spirit sticking its head out of the corner of her bedroom. Now, the family even heard voices and saw strange lights in the sky around their house. They were convinced that the house was haunted. So, of course, the first step was the family turned to local law enforcement. But, of course, they were unable to help. Caroline Perron reached out to paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, who agreed to help the family. Now, if you haven't heard of Ed or Lorraine Warren, you should, because they have the whole Conjuring movies out, along with The Nun and Annabelle, all those chapters. But if you haven't seen the original Conjuring, you should go see it right now. Also, one of their daughters, Cindy, claimed to have befriended a little girl named Manny, who would play with her and talk to her. However, Manny was actually a malevolent spirit who would torment the family at night. The family also experienced, as I said, other terrifying incidents, like being physically attacked by unseen forces, or waking up to find that their beds are being shaken violently. Now, during the investigation of the Perron family's farmhouse, the Warrens conducted several paranormal investigations to try and identify the cause of the haunting. They were accompanied by other paranormal researchers and mediums who helped them communicate with the spirits haunting the house. Now, one of the most interesting things that the Warrens did during their investigation was to conduct seances to try to communicate with these entities present in the house. But during these seances, they were able to make contact with several spirits that had been haunting the house. And that's when the Warrens discovered that the farmhouse was built on land that had a tragic history of violence and pain, which they believed to have facilitated the presence of negative entities. Now, the most malevolent spirits that they encountered during their investigation were those of an old woman named Bethesda Sherman and a demonic spirit that was possessing the house. Now, Bethesda Sherman had lived on the property in the 1800s and was rumored to have practiced witchcraft. Now, according to the Warrens, Bethesda was the main source of this haunting and was responsible for the deaths of several infants in the area. Now, they believed that her spirit was looking for new victims when the Perron family moved into the house. Now, the Warrens advised the family to perform a seance to try and rid the house of the spirits, but during the seance, Carolyn Perron became possessed by one of the spirits and had to be restrained. Now, after the weeks of investigation, the Warrens performed an exorcism in an attempt to drive out the demonic possession. However, while the exorcism temporarily weakened the entities, it did not eradicate them completely, and the family experienced, like I said, further paranormal activity until they eventually moved out of the house. Now, the demonic possession in the house was also a significant part of the Warrens' investigation because they discovered that the demon was using Bethesda's spirit as a conduit to communicate with the Perron family, and it was responsible for the violent attacks that they had been experiencing. Now, despite the failure to remove the entities entirely from the house, the Warrens' investigation brought national attention to the Perron family's haunting and helped them to find some peace in the aftermath. Now, after the seance, the activity in the house calmed down considerably, and the Perron family eventually moved out of the house, but the Warrens continued to investigate the property and the surrounding areas. And the Warrens believed that the property was a portal to the spirit world, and that the spirits they encountered were not just confined to the house. Now, the story of the Perron family and their haunted farmhouse was the inspiration for the 2013 horror movie, The Conjuring. However, the real-life events were far more terrifying than anything portrayed on screen. And I didn't want to ruin it too much for you if you haven't seen it. But now that you know it is real and The Conjuring is off real events and really did happen, if you have not seen that movie, go watch it right now. I'm serious. You will see all the incredible things that happen and they will line up with this story. So, as a final warning to some of those who might not believe, just remember what this family went through, and remember, one day, it might be you.